Hi all, I need to stretch. So if you need to stretch also, please join me for a nice 30-minute extended cool down. You could do it after one of your workouts, floor yoga mobility routine. You don't need shoes. All you need is a mat or towel or something to soft surface. Let's get started. All right, welcome to class. Go ahead and come to kneeling at the back of your mat. We're going to start in child's pose. Hips towards heels, knees as far apart as feels comfortable. Stretch your arms forward, melt your forehead down, let your armpits reach for the ground. You might even let your nose and head rest on the ground. Feel free to, at any time in this class, come back to child's pose. You can spend as long as you like here. Let's walk our hands to the right. Take a nice side stretch. Push your hips to the left and breathe to that left lung. And we'll switch it out other side. Walk your hands to the left and bump your hips to the right. Stretch out that side. As we go through today's class, I want you to honor your body and customize. So change anything that you feel needs changing. Come through the middle and we'll take tabletop, and that will vary for each of us. So rounding through your back, push your hands into the ground as you tuck your chin, cat. Reverse this, come into cow. Melt your heart forward, lift your tail and lift your eye gaze. We'll switch a couple times between cat and cow and see if you can match it with your breath. Typically inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. And then on this last one, we'll hold somewhere right in the middle. Stretch your right leg back and roll your right toes down. Tuck and push into the ball of your back foot. So you should feel your calf stretching. You can use your hands to create a little leverage. Go ahead and come on off that right foot. Bend into your right knee. We will circle out to the side and around slowly. 3 big circles. Trying not to use momentum. And keep your elbows soft, but both hands pretty even pressure. Step on this 4th circle. Step your right foot all the way to the top of the mat and aim by your right thumb. Let your hips sink. You can come on up to blocks or fingertips. Or you can climb up to your right thigh and take a little bit of a modified version or the full low lunge pose, reaching your arms for the sky. So that's going to require a little engagement through your legs like you're scissoring. Protect your back, belly button in. Go ahead, exhale your hands down, frame your front foot, tuck your back toe, lift that back knee. This is another version of our low lunge, a little more active. Stand on your left hand and start to reach your right arm up. So we're twisting into this front knee, maybe even gazing up at that hand. Release it back down to the floor. Melt your back knee. Uncurl your toes. Shift your weight back. Let's take half splits. Feel free to be on blocks, fingertips, palms, any version of the stretch. We want to just open up the hamstring back of the leg. Good. Release your right foot to the ground and we'll slide that right knee back behind you underneath right hip. Let's take a little cat-cow cycle here. So exhale, drop the head and tail. And move your shoulder blades apart. Inhale, soften your belly down, lift your chest. And settle somewhere right in between. Let's send left leg out. Same flow for the other side. So your left toes shine down, roll your left hip to the floor, tuck your left ball of the foot to the ground and push into it. Find a stretch for your calf. Lift the head in line with the spine, the shoulders. Come off your left foot. Let's lift and bend your knee. Circle out to the side, really slow. Move some blood around in that hip capsule. 2 more circles. And then we'll do a 4th one here to step your foot to the top. So big circle through the hip and bring your left foot as high up the mat as you can. Aim for right on the inside of your left thumb. See if you can drop the hips but lift the chest. Fingertips or blocks, or maybe even up onto your thigh. Experiment with it, but honor your body, never forcing. You're welcome to try the full version, reaching arms up. Breathing into that hip and relaxing your shoulders. Exhale your hands down and tuck your back toe. Pick up the back knee. Let's engage your back leg. A little bit of energy here. You can move front to back and side to side. Prepping for our twist. Right hand to the ground under the right shoulder. And twist your left arm up. reach up, look at it, feel a little bit of a spinal stretch. Release with your exhale. Bow your back knee to the floor and untuck your toes. Let's shift the weight back for half splits. As you do, bring your left toes up to the ceiling and any hand placement that works for you. We do want to keep a bend in this front knee so we're not forcing it into straight. Nice job. Exhale to come out of this. So slowly roll the sole of the foot down and swing your left knee behind you. Child's pose. Melt those hips back. You can open and close your hands a couple times. Maybe roll your wrists. Good. We're prepping to lie prone on the mat here. So slither forward, knees, chest, and chin. Elbows tuck in. And then allow your belly to melt all the way down, tops of the feet to the floor, and walk those hands maybe an inch further back by your ribs. Push into your hands and peel yourself up. This is our baby cobra. If your back's a little cranky, stay in this range. Exhale, release. Let's try a couple more. Try to push the hip points down and keep it out of your neck. You can come a little higher. Exhale, release. If it feels good for you, you can come higher. If not, stay down low. And release. Exhale. Beautiful. Make a pillow with your forehead or with your hands for your forehead. And let's bend into both knees. And slowly cast your ankles from side to side. A little stretch and massage in those quads. Gentle here so we're not forcing them side to side. Slowly release your toes back down. And let's make the pillow your left forearm only. Bend into just your right knee and stretch back with your right hand. You might not connect to anything today. You might just reach for it. If you can find your foot, your ankle, or your shin, go ahead and connect and just gently press into a quad stretch facing down. This one's really tough. So remember, in a yoga or mobility class, it's a little different than other classes where you might push your limits a little bit, where you would try to get just a little further into your reps than maybe feels comfortable or right. For flexibility, we kind of want to honor those boundaries more. Slowly release and we'll switch. So take your right elbow into a square and bend the other side. Stretch your left arm back so you can connect. Because if we overstretch, we can hurt ourselves and then we won't be able to do all the other activities that we love. What if we neglect flexibility and don't stretch at all? We'll probably also hurt ourselves when we accidentally get put into a position that we didn't have the flexibility for. So it's a good preventative measure. Just practice being able to bend the knees and move the elbows and shoulder circles, all the things that we might have to do in life. Release without any slingshot. Plant your hands by your ribs. Push yourself up to all fours. And counter stretch this child's pose, hips to heels, ribs to thighs, arms overhead if you can. Come back to your all fours position here, standing in like nice tabletop posture. Stand on your left arm, reach your right arm up, big twist through your thoracic spine. Exhale, thread the needle. Back of the arm and shoulder will melt onto the floor. Let your head rest. And then maybe even reach your left arm to the top of the mat as you kind of roll onto the back of your head. Gazing towards your back hip. Plant your left hand by your face. Let's push down and come back into your twist. So the same way you came into that. Slowly release and we'll switch to the other side. So stand right hand, stretch left arm up, big twist, and thread the needle. We'll take our stretch on the other side. Let your ear, shoulder, head rest. Weight in the knees to take weight off the head, and then stretch the other arm to the top of the mat. You're taking a nice shoulder stretch. You feel at the back of the shoulder. Release your right hand by your face as you push down. Come on up through the twist. And exhale to release. Plant those palms, spread your fingers, tuck your toes. Downward dog. Knees come up off the mat. Lift the tailbone, let the head dive down. And an opportunity to pedal. If it feels good, just kind of march in place. The back of your mat, you'll let one heel get heavy as the other knee bends. Good. And we'll stretch the right leg for the sky. Three-legged dog. This one's a tough one, so feel free to stay right here, or you can roll the hip open and bend that right knee so that your right foot kind of falls towards the back of your head. Keep those shoulders square. Let's kick the right leg towards straight, square off the right hip with the left, and step your right foot as high up the mat as you can. Aim for by the thumb again. And let's stay up here for low lunge. Scissor your legs and come into high lunge. Start crescent lunge position. Sinking down, creating some sort of like traction here as we pull the front hip back and the back hip forward. Go ahead with your exhale breath. Go ahead and step into the sole of your back foot. Turn it out for 45 degrees. And you're going to stay square to the front of the mat here. Slide down this front leg. Could be your thigh. Could be your shin. Could be your ankle or blocks right here for pyramid. Soften this front knee so that you don't overstretch your hamstring. Good. We'll peel the back heel up, wiggle to the ball of your back foot, spring load your legs here, and exhale, step to a plank pose. This is optional. You can just go to child's pose if you'd rather. Shifting forward of your wrist, you can bend your knees or keep your knees up. Slowly lower yourself to the floor, and baby cobra or full cobra, or even up dog if that's in your practice. Lower back down and push through a child's pose. We'll meet in down dog when you feel ready. So I'm coming through down dog, tucking the toes, lifting the knees, tailbone up, head dangling down between the biceps. Maybe even add a little neck movement. Just shake your head no. Side 2, left leg for the sky. So 3-legged dog on the other side. You can just hold this squared off. It's already tough. Or gently roll your hip open and bend your left knee, letting your left foot fall towards the back of your head. Keep your arms engaged, your triceps plugged in. Kick that leg to straight, slowly square off. Keep your hips high. Step the left foot as high up the mat as you can. You're going to aim by your hand. Stay light in your fingers as you engage your legs. You're going to lift off our high lunge position. So getting a really good stretch here, but also building some strength and endurance. And practicing balance. Slowly come on up to the sole of your back foot. Step it out, 45-degree turn out. We're going to square off over the front of the leg, anywhere down your leg. Use blocks if you have them, the floor if it's accessible, or your shin or thigh for support. Keep a little bend here in this knee so you don't overstretch. We want to honor the hamstring and just gently guide it into a lengthened position. Go ahead and peel the back heel up, and as you wiggle to the ball of your back foot, your fingers will come down, your front knee bends, low lunge. Push into those hands, step to plank. Feel free to skip plank. You can just definitely head to your child's pose, or with me shifting forward, any kind of chaturanga, baby cobra or full cobra. Lower it back down, slow and smooth. Exhale, push it up and back. Child's pose. We're coming forward into all fours, stepping those toes, tuck them under, lifting the knees up, and tailbone to sky. Down dog once more. Big stretch for the backs of the legs. Good. We're going to take another stretch here. So right leg up for the sky. Inhale, 3-legged dog. You can keep it square. Right knee to your nose. Step it as high up the mat as you can. When you get there, heel toe your right foot out a little wider so your pinky toe kind of lines up with the outside of the mat. Your hands come to the inside of your right knee. This is our runner's lunge. You can shift forward and back and side to side, just loosen things up, and then go ahead and bend the back knee and set it down. You can uncurl the back toes. Standing on your left hand, start to circle the right arm forward to the ceiling and then up and over behind you. And then with your breath, come on back to where you started. And we'll do a couple more of these. Opening up that shoulder, but simultaneously opening up your back hip and your inner thigh. Let's hold this one. You can stay right here, reaching back, looking back maybe, or if you have the ability to bend into your back knee, see if it's accessible to connect with your foot. It might not be. You might just bend it and reach and look for it, or maybe you could grab a strap or a towel and hook onto it. That'll help make your arm just a little bit longer for this one. It's a tough one, I know. Without any slingshot, gently release your foot. If you're holding it, come back to the center here. We're going to walk this right foot behind your left wrist and slowly melt your right knee to the floor, coming into half pigeon. If you need to put a block under the hip, I would recommend it. It's very helpful. Come on up into a little baby cobra, lift off. If your front knee bites or pinches, take this on your back. This is our reclining pigeon. And if it feels okay, let's go ahead and melt. Bowing your heart over your front thigh. This is our sleeping pigeon. It's a great hip stretch. Should feel amazing. I always need this one after a workout. See if you can notice your breath. Notice where you feel it. Notice your body sensations. Go ahead and we'll gently start our journey of coming back up to the palms. And tuck the back toe. Engage the back leg. Strong arms. Come to your plank. You can skip the plank and just go straight to child's pose or down dog, or join me in a little vinyasa. I'm just doing modified ones today. Baby cobra or full cobra. You can go to up dog if that feels okay. You can flip your toes and go straight through down dog, but I'm going to take a child's pose. And when you're ready, meet me in down dog. Plug those hands into the mat. Spread your fingers. Heels get heavy. Head dangles down, and we are upside down. Downward facing dog for side 2. Left leg for the sky. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to nose. Step as high up your mat as you can. And then let's make space for the hands. Heel toe the foot out to the outer edge of your mat and plant your hands inside your left knee. Go ahead and move a little bit here for our runner's lunge. Just kind of loosen things up. Might draw a circle, side to side, front to back. Let's melt the back knee, uncurl the back toes, and we're getting ready to stand on your right hand with your left hand doing the circles this time. Left arm reaches forward, up to the sky, and then back. You don't have to do the full circle if your shoulder's tight, and then just undo the whole thing. I'm kind of prepping a twist, opening up through the shoulder. And see if you can match with your breath. You can just hold this one. So reaching back or reaching up, whatever feels good. If you're able to put a bend in your back knee, see if it's accessible to maybe connect with your foot or maybe a towel. I came up onto my fingertips on this front hand because a little tighter on this side. Without any slingshot, gently release what you're holding. Unwind that circle here, and you're going to heel toe the left foot behind your right wrist, creating this nice figure four. It's kind of like just a diagonal bend in your knee. If you're able to go to like a 4, wow, great job. Or you can roll to your back. Take this as a reclining pigeon. Lift up, open the heart, baby cobra through the spine, and gently, when you're ready, if you're ready, start to melt. Could come to your elbows. You can come all the way down onto your forehead, like a little fist pillow or a block for your head if that feels good. One more breath here. Good. Start your journey of coming back up to your hands. You're going to engage your back leg, tuck your back toe. So energy as you lift up your back knee and step back to plank. You can skip it. You can just go to child's or join me with that little vinyasa. I'm just doing some baby ones today. Slowly release. We'll meet in child's pose at the back of the mat. Gonna roll out those wrists and open, close your hands a couple times. And then bring your palms together. See if you can lift your hands over the back of your head and walk those elbows forward, taking a little stretch through your triceps. All right, we'll release the hands, shift it forward here, and we'll come to sit on your sit bones. Let's cross the left ankle in front of the right and flex your feet. Find the sit bones. If you sit on a block, you're welcome to. Let's roll the shoulders just a couple times. Take them the other direction. Prepping for some upper body mobility. Reaching the left arm overhead. Then we'll go ahead and bend it. Reach down your back. Turn the right thumb down and reach up your back. And see if you can work those fingers towards one another in our Gomukhasana or our cow face, open cow face arms. It's okay if they don't touch. You're welcome to hold on to a strap or towel or maybe even your shirt for some leverage. Good, we'll unwind gentle and give those shoulders a circle, maybe both ways. Left right arm up, and we'll do the other side. So right arm overhead, give it a bend like you're reaching down your back, then turn the left thumb down and wriggle those hands towards one another. Trying not to compromise your spine as you make this happen, so you're still sitting tall. Excellent. Release what you're holding. Give the shoulders a little shrug. Let's puff out the chest. Fingertips behind you. Lift up, look up. Maybe a back bend. And gently roll forward, climbing towards me, bowing over your shins. So this is our little fold into your Sukhasana. Feeling a stretch for your hips. Let your low back release. Come on up and we'll do the other side. So gently rock to the tailbone and crisscross the other ankle in front, and we'll find those sit bones. Ground them down again. Open up into a capital T. Roll the thumbs back, palms up. Stretch the shoulders, and let's wrap the right arm over the left. Give yourself a hug. Option A, maybe a single bind or a double bind, option B and C. So you choose. So Giridhasana arms here as we sit tall through our spine. Slowly unwind and open back to your capital T. Thumbs back, chest up. Wrap with the other arm on top this time. So maybe just the hug might feel great. You can give it a single bind or a double bind. Stretching behind your shoulders. Slowly release this. Fingers to the floor behind you. Roll your thumbs to the outside and puff the chest. We'll take our fold. Slowly round forward. Melt into your legs. Stretch your back. Come back to your breath. And slowly walk yourself up. And we'll take ourselves into a little mermaid here. So let your feet come apart and drop your knees to the left. So for me, I'm going to scoot back a little bit so I can stay on my mat, feeling a stretch through this inner thigh and deep into my hip, and then letting the other knee open up. So just sitting here might be plenty, and you might not need to add anything, or you might need to put a block underneath some hips and some knees for support. I'm going to add a twist. So reaching the right arm over to the left thigh, gently look over the back shoulder with your back fingers on the ground for support. Slowly unwind if you did add the twist. Put weight onto your back left hand. Circle that right arm up and push your hips up off the floor, creating sort of a modified wild thing. Stretch your hip forward. Feels like rainbow spine. Exhale, release, and bow. And we will twist them the other way. Drop those knees to the right. And first, just settle into what feels like a good stretch. You might have one side that's quite open and one side that's very tight. So honor what it feels like for side two. And you might just hold here and breathe. If you're able to twist, though, here's your opportunity to stretch your left arm towards your right thigh. Lift tall through your back. Use your hands behind you for support. Look over the back shoulder. And you don't want to crank this or force this. Just a little twist. Unwind, and we'll put more weight onto the right hand. Circle the left arm up, and as you do, pick up your hips, press your hips forward, take almost what feels like a back bend. Big stretch through the hips. Slowly release it. Gently lower those hips and cast your feet to one end of your mat so that we can roll down and face up. Grab onto your hamstrings so you have a little support and slowly descend 1 inch at a time. Your head will be the last thing. Arms up. If your back's happy, you can extend your legs and point your toes. If your back is not happy, just bend your knees. Like a rope and tug of war. Stretch away from each other. Reverse this. Knees to chest. Slowly curl your forehead towards your knees. And just a little squeeze here. Relax your head. And rock those knees side to side. Massage that back. Excellent. Keep your right knee, slither your left leg out straight, flex your left foot like you're standing on it, and then just circle your right ankle, point and flex your foot. Go take the hands to the hamstring and then send that leg towards straight. If this is too intense, you can put a bend back into your bottom leg and set your bottom foot to the floor. If it feels good, you can climb up your top leg towards your ankle or your foot. Calf. If it feels real tight, keep a good bend in this knee though. Go ahead, step the bottom foot to the floor here, bending into your bottom knee. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. You You can give it a push or reach through and connect. This is our pigeon option on your back. So you can always do this version. If you, for any reason, feel uncomfortable in the regular pigeon, take this supine version so you can control how much pressure you're applying. And we'll slowly release whatever you held. Uncross that. If you need to shift your hips back to the middle, go for it. Take the left knee to your chest. Slide your right leg long and flex your right foot. Keep your head down, relax it. Let's roll that left ankle around. Point and flex through the foot. And let's prep for our supine hamstring stretch. Send your left leg towards the sky. It does not have to go all the way straight. You can hold anywhere down the back of your leg, or you can bend into your bottom foot or bottom knee and make it a little less intense. So you pick. Holding that stretch. Still being able to breathe all the way in and all the way out. Full breath. Go ahead and step your bottom foot to the floor here as we cross over, ankle over thigh. You can give it a gentle press open, figure 4. Reach through and catch. Try to let your tailbone stay heavy. And just relax your face. Grateful breaths is what I like to think of. Grateful for this body, for all the things that you can do, for the lungs and heart beating inside your chest. Slowly release what you're holding. Spread your wings into a capital T. You can just lighten up on those toes and gently drop your knees to one side. Slowly let the knees melt. If it feels good, you can kick your feet away from your mat. Come more towards like a square or a 90 degree on the knee. And roll your opposite shoulder back. So you're kind of twisting, almost wringing out the sponge here. A gentle supine twist. If you did kick your feet out, go ahead and tuck them back in a little bit. Use your obliques to lift those knees back up and gently guide the knees the other direction and settle them down onto the floor. Maybe even kicking the feet off the mat into a little more of a square or 90 degree on the knee. Gentle twist. Roll that opposite shoulder in the opposite direction that you're twisting. And slowly bring those feet back to the mat if you chose to kick them off. Lift the knees, firm the core. One more stretch here. Take those knees to your chest. Give them a nice hug and then lift your feet, your footprints to the ceiling. Catch anywhere down the outsides of your calves, your ankles, or your feet, and widen your legs here so there's room for your rib cage in between your knees. Gently pull those knees towards the armpits. This is a happy baby stretch. Really great for the low back, the hamstrings, and the groin. You're welcome to rock side to side or to play with this a little bit. Maybe you straighten one leg and then the other. You can hold anywhere down the calves if the feet are just not accessible today. Go ahead, release the soles of the feet towards one another and let the pinky toe edge of the feet drop to the floor. So your knees are open, you're in the supine cobbler's pose, and let your hands rest on your belly. Let's take a few moments just to watch your breath. So roll those shoulders back, get all your wiggles out. You can close your eyes here if you like. Start to observe your inhale and your exhale without exerting any control over it. If at any time the cobbler's pose becomes uncomfortable, you can guide your knees back up and knock them together. Feels good, you can continue holding this cobbler's pose on your back. Relax your face and relax your jaw. Good. We'll slowly release the hands down to the outsides of the thighs. Blink your eyes open and work your knees back up towards the sky. Walk your feet apart for a second and release them towards one another. And you can add a little bit of movement in your head, your neck, maybe rock it side to side. Excellent practice today, team. Slowly drop your knees to me and we'll roll ourselves up, coming to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Thank you guys so much for stretching with me today. I definitely needed that and I do feel better. Make sure you let me know in the comments how this class went for you and if you'd like to do more stretch yoga mobility classes with me. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have an excellent rest of your day. Namaste.